Hi there, I'm Guy from American Torch Tip, and today I'm going to show you how to properly clean a CO2 laser lens. It's very important in laser cutting to have clean optics. If you have any sort of spatter or debris on your lenses, it's definitely going to affect your cutting. It could also cause a catastrophic failure of your lens. Today we're going to take a look at the lenses themselves. Of course, these lenses are made of zinc selenide. And then they also contain what's called an anti-reflective or AR coating. This coating contains thorium, which is radioactive. So this is why you should always be wearing gloves or finger cots. In this case, I prefer gloves. It's just easier to work with. So I've taken my lens and I've put it on my lens holder. Now this is a dual lens holder. You can go for a 2-inch lens or a 1-inch lens. You place the optic on the holder. Next thing you do is you take your acetone. In this case is usually the first one you should use. Now this acetone needs to be kind of commercial grade, not something that you'd buy at Home Depot or any hardware store. This is laboratory grade acetone. If you tried to use something else, you'd end up with a film on your lens. So before I start, I always get my paper out. Just as important as the acetone is, the wipes you use are also very important. If you try to use a kind of a cheap one or a tissue or something like that, it's just going to smear. It's not going to be. It's not going to come out clean. So I prefer the Tiffin, which is what we have here today. So I take a couple of papers there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dropper. I'm going to take some acetone. I'm going to put some, usually 2 or 3 drops on the lens itself. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the cloth on, and this is called the drop and drag method. And what you're actually doing is pulling this straight across. And as you're doing it, if you're doing it right, you'll see it start to kind of pull away from the edges. And by the time you get to the other end, it's completely dry. Next, you want to repeat that, and you don't want to reuse your wipes. Always use a fresh wipe. You're going to turn it over, and you're going to repeat the process. Again, 2 or 3 drops. Take your wipe. It's going to get completely moistened, then slowly and evenly drag it across the optic. And again, there it is. So next you want to inspect it. I always hold it up to a good light and look for any sort of spatter. If there's still some debris on there that we can't get off, there are some other options. Vinegar can actually be used. Be very careful if you're going to try vinegar. Vinegar can actually eat into the coating itself, and if you have a damaged coating, this could lead to a catastrophic failure. So that's really kind of a last resort. Some other things that we have in the kit here. We have an air bulb, so if you get some lint on there, you can blow it off. Again, as I said, you can use finger cots. I prefer gloves, but finger cots are good. You'll have aluminum oxide polish. This is really used more for mirrors. This is kind of, if you know anything about polishing, like Brasso or something like that, this would be going on a mirror where you're going to kind of apply it, let it dry, and then you're going to buff it off. It can be used on lenses, but it's generally not used. Some different types of wipes. Again, I like to use the Tiffin, but if you have one spot that you're trying to work on, you might be able to rub it a little bit with these. Last are what are called tech wipes. These are really good, especially for fiber laser lenses and windows. Just really works well for those. But again, you can use them on a CO2 as well. And that's really about it. So again, clean optics will make your laser cutting go a lot better. Thanks.